Hey everyone, welcome back to the Animal Notebook channel. Today, we're jumping straight into an explainer on literally some of the most vibrant and honestly ecologically crucial fish on the entire planet, tangs. Whether you're an avid diver or a dedicated aquarium keeper, there is just so much hidden beneath their colorful surface.
Okay, let's dive right into this. If you picture a healthy coral reef, you are probably picturing a tang. They are an absolute staple worldwide, bringing these vivid pops of yellow and royal blue to the water. But as you'll see today, they are way more than just swimming decorations. They are the active, complex lifeblood of the reef ecosystem.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet the surgeonfish. Second, the anatomy of a tang. Third, grazers of the reef. Fourth, tangs in the aquarium. And finally, we'll wrap up with some frequently asked questions. Part 1. Meet the surgeonfish. What exactly is a tang?
You've probably heard the word tang thrown around a lot, right? But scientifically speaking, it's not just one single species. It's actually a common name for a massive taxonomic family of fish known as Acanthuridae. We're talking tangs, surgeonfish, and unicorn fish. The name comes from Greek roots translating to thorn or spine and tail. Keep that in mind because it perfectly hints at their most, formidable feature. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer diversity we're talking about here. You've got your iconic, solid yellow tang right alongside the absolutely striking Achilles tang with its dark body and neon orange markings. While they all share that distinct, laterally compressed oval shape, man, they have evolved an incredible array of dynamic colors and patterns. If you're out on the reef or just checking out a local tank, here's a quick cheat sheet for spotting the famous ones. Zebrasoma flavescens, that's your classic bright yellow tang. Paracanthurus hepatus is the regal blue tang, vivid blue with that striking black palette pattern. And Acanthurus achilles is the highly territorial Achilles tang, rocking that dark body and bold orange. All right, moving on to part 2, anatomy of a tang, built for the reef.
These fish are quite literally built for their environment. They're highly specialized biological machines, compressed flat from side to side so they can just effortlessly slip through tight spaces in the coral. But their defining feature? It's the caudal spine. Hidden right at the base of their tail is an actual scalpel-like structure made of modified scales. This is exactly why they're called surgeonfish. It's a highly effective, instant defensive weapon.
And honestly, these spines are no joke. Our source text issues a very direct warning on this. Quote, safety note, never grab a tang by the tail or handle it carelessly. The caudal spine can cause a deep laceration. End quote. In some species, these little scalpels even pack a mild toxin. They can do serious damage to a predator, another fish, or an unwary human handler. So they're stunning to look at, sure, but they absolutely demand your respect.
Which brings us to part 3, grazers of the reef, the maintenance crew. Backed up by that agility and those built-in scalpels, tangs boldly patrol their territories. Think of them as the critical maintenance crew for the reef ecosystem. They are near-constant swimmers, forming these massive, really impressive feeding aggregations during the daytime, maneuvering expertly all over the coral as they forage.
So what's on the menu? Well, most tangs are primarily herbivores. They graze continuously on marine algae, turf algae, seaweed, you name it. Some, like the bristle-toothed tangs, even have these specialized comb-like teeth to sweep up fine detritus and film algae. And here's why this matters. By constantly cropping this down, tangs literally prevent algae from completely suffocating the coral structures. They act as a key indicator of overall reef health. Honestly, without this life-saving ecological balance, reefs would just die off. If you care about the survival of our oceans, you have to care about the tangs, keeping them breathing.
Part 4, tangs in the aquarium, care and realities.
Now, because they're so beautiful and have such energetic personalities, tangs are exceptionally popular pets. But their needs often totally misunderstood. So the crucial point is this. It is so easy to see a cute, tiny 4-inch juvenile in a pet store and think, oh, that'll easily fit in my basic tank. But no, these active swimmers rapidly grow up to 24 inches long in some cases, requiring massive 75 to 180 plus gallon setups just to thrive. You simply cannot choose a tank based on their baby size.
Finally, part 5, tangs frequently asked questions. 4 quick facts to wrap things up. Question number 1. Do tangs sleep? We know they're incredibly active, just constantly swimming and aggressively defending their feeding territories during the day. But what happens when the sun goes down? Do these energetic grazers actually stop and rest?
Well, the answer is yes. Like a lot of diurnal animals, they absolutely need their rest. They typically reduce their activity at night, seeking out shelter by hiding among rocks and tucking themselves safely into protected crevices in the reef structure right before darkness falls. It's how they stay safe from nocturnal predators.
Okay, question number 2. Are tangs dangerous to humans? We've talked about their beauty, but we also talked about those built-in tail blades. So are handlers, divers, or fishermen actually at risk when interacting with these guys?
Yes, they definitely can be. As we saw earlier, those scalpel-like tail spines can cause deep, severe cuts if they're handled poorly. But there's another hidden danger here: food safety. The flesh of some species, specifically the blue tang, is actually considered poisonous to eat because of a high risk of ciguatera. That's a type of food poisoning caused by toxins that build up the reef food chain. So look, but don't touch, and maybe don't eat. Moving right along to question 3, regarding their basic biology. Can tangs breathe air? Sometimes we hear about marine animals that can survive brief periods out of water or gulp air from the surface. How do tangs fare in this regard? The answer is a definitive no. Tangs are strictly marine fish. They get their oxygen entirely from water passing over their gills. They cannot survive prolonged air exposure, and they absolutely cannot live in fresh water. They are 100% dependent on warm, highly stable, well-oxygenated saltwater environments to survive. And that brings us to our final FAQ. Do tangs eat coral? Since they spend their entire lives swarming all over coral reefs and just constantly picking at the structures all day long, it's a very fair question to wonder if they're actually consuming the reef itself. Generally, no, they don't. While they might occasionally nip at something by accident, they are the coral's diligent protectors, not its predators. Their primary food is the algae growing on those surfaces. By eating the algae that threatens to smother the reef, they provide an unbelievable cleaning service, making them highly valued both in the wild and in reef aquariums. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really perfect thought from our source material. A tang isn't simply a colorful aquarium fish. It is an active marine herbivore adapted to a large, complex reef environment. It really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Next time you see a photo of a pristine coral reef, ask yourself, would that vibrant underwater city even exist without the tireless work of the surgeonfish? Thank you so much for joining us on the Animal Notebook channel today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives, and as always, stay curious.